And now, live from the Steel Twins recording studio in beautiful Traverse City, Michigan, it's your boys, the Cannonball, the Cannon, the Steel Twins. What is up, everybody? It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means.
That's right, voice acting night, baby.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're sorry that we had to, postpone our episode once, twice, three times, but third time's the charm, kids. We're here and we're ready to get this case resolved. So, and also, the Nostalgic Monday is, raring and rolling as it always is. Legend of Zelda Tuesdays was pretty good last night. I ended up watching a lot of that stream myself.
Yeah, and thanks so much for sticking around for that, man.
Absolutely, and to anybody,
big shout out to Alistair,
Alistair Atlas,
Balthazar, joining our streams, my streams as of late.
He joined the Donkey Kid.
Yeah, he hopefully he gets to join this one too.
Yeah, I mean, if you would, it'd be cool if you did.
If you did, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And plus, anyone that watches this after the fact on YouTube and the archives, go check them out. We're hoping to add some new projects to this stream too. And I want to try to see if I can get my own series going. My own Nostalgic Mondays, quote unquote. And I want this channel, the Steel Twins Gaming, this channel, to be about the two of us at all times.
Sure.
Whereas, Steel Twins Andy is, Andrew doing stuff, and then maybe I could do a sub-channel, Steel Twins Alex, where I'm doing stuff. Not to say that we won't collaborate, but I'll tell you what, a couple of other exciting events. We are making plans to attend TwitchCon in San Diego in this October. So yes, I can't guarantee we'll get you a booth. I don't think we're going to get a booth, but you'll see us walking around passing out business cards. And of course, since I said that, I got to order them. But seriously though, if you listen to these streams, if you're a fan on Twitch and you want to come check us out at TwitchCon, I would be totally stoked.
Me too.
Because there's a ton of streamers there too, and we're probably going to try to learn our best tricks from them. Otherwise, life's been hectic around here at the Steel Twins studio, the Steel Twins recording studio, but we're making it work one day at a time. But
yes.
Man, it's been a long day, and it's been a long time since we did this. So, I want to get this started off, and I want to get it started the right way. So,
yes, sir.
This is my second favorite part of the show. The first one being whenever we run into a really nice plot hole, or not a plot hole, a nice plot twist. That's like when we break out the what? That is probably one of my favorite things to do about this series. So, if you have a cap to your bottle or a pin on your can, you go ahead and pull that pin back or twist that cap off.
It's a twisty twist.
Thank you, Gayru Tonido. Hey, package. What time is it?
It's time to get bombed.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Wow. That hits a spot.
You damn right. You're damn right, son. What are we waiting for?
Yeah, and the carbs are coming up too, so be careful. Live scene.
War breaks you, maggots! We're going to war!
Yeah, you know what? At this rate, we might be. I don't know. But kind of like one of those silent wars that prosecutors and lawyers have, or judges rather. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think they're called Cold Wars, but I could be mistaken.
I think you might be onto something there, package. You might be onto something. All right, so we're loading this up. So this is the last time, kids, we're going to be in the prison because we are going to conclude episode 2, The Captive Turnabout.
Shut up, clock in, and load up.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see Little Thief, too. So get psyched for that.
Oh, yes. That is a possibility.
Yeah, we are like careering towards this. March 29th, 10:12 a.m. Prison Yard. They could have just said prison yard. Whatever.
Here we are again. Let's hope we can find something this time that will finally reveal the truth behind it all. Although, that might be easier said than done.
There's nothing left to investigate.
Judge Gavelle's deduction yesterday.
There is another possibility, one you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there? In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop at some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint?
Oh, we'll find out.
Had Knight's body really been thrown down the well? The answer to that question will surely show us the way forward. But before we begin, I should tidy up my organizer a little. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged.
There you go.
Let's see here. Huh? There's a cover on it.
A dried up well slap bang in the middle of a prison? Figures it'd be locked.
Well, luckily, I'm a master lockpicker. Want me to do my stuff?
I think not. We'll do this investigation by the book.
Come on, don't be such a stick in the mud. Whoa!
What is it, Kay?
The lock's broken. And from the looks of it, it's been broken for a long time.
Oh. Well, then.
If that's the case, then anyone could have thrown Knight's body down the well. Judge Gavelle's theory was that Mr. Saint carried out the murder here in the yard, and then, during the performance, he threw the body down the well.
What are you thinking, Milesarino? Plausible or no?
Oh, why don't we see if Miss Sal can help us out again?
Yay, missile!
Hey, missile! Yee!
He'll be able to tell us if Mr. Knight's body was here and which way it went.
Good idea. I'll call Detective Gumshoe. Get your phone out.
Gumshoe speaking.
Detective, I need your assistance. Come to the prison yard and bring Miss Sal with you.
You bet, sir. Gumshoe's 7 secret weapons to the rescue again, huh?
I'm fairly sure Miss Sal belongs to the precinct. I'd also like you to bring one of our witnesses. Call the Barry Big Circus and ask Ms. Regina Barry to come down here with you.
Yes, sir. I'll be there before you know it.
So, what shall we do while we're waiting for Gummy? How about a quick game of hide and go seek?
Fun idea, kiddo. But where exactly would we hide?
He's not seriously considering it. Your game can wait, Kay. We need to call on one of your more practical skills. I think you know the one.
Oh, you bet I do. One crime scene recreation coming right up.
Huh? Say what now?
Let me show you. Introducing a great thief's great secret weapon, Little Thief.
Let's go. All right.
Let's go!
Whoa. Screens appearing from thin air. This is some next level tech, little sis. Want to talk me through the deets? What are you doing now?
I'm inputting everything we need for the simulation.
Allow me to explain. This is Mr. Thief.
It's Little Thief, dumbass.
come on, Edgeworth. It's a device that can recreate crime scenes. What the heck was that?
What? Go keep going.
It's a device that can recreate crime scenes at a specific moment in time based on the data you feed it.
How about I start us off with a recreation of what the yard looked like yesterday?
Good idea. That was when they were in the middle of tearing down the stage. We didn't pay much attention to the well then. Who knows? We may have overlooked something. Something's being delayed for some reason. Never mind.
Okay.
Leave it to me. I'll use the photo I took. Beepity beep boop beep. That's all the data. Just gotta pump the projection power to max and... Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares to wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now, witness the true power of a real, modern-day Robin Hood.
And here we go.
Yipes! What is this?
It's a recreation of how things were yesterday, modeled on the data that I gave Little Thief. This gadget was a tool used by the original Yatagarasu, but they used it to plan robberies.
Well, there's no harm in using it for something on the right side of the law now.
Oh, but keep in mind that it can only recreate what you tell it to. It can't simulate things it doesn't have data for, and if the data itself contains mistakes, then you'll wind up with those same mistakes in the recreation too.
But this particular recreation is based on Kay's photo, so we shouldn't run into any problems.
You sure about that?
Well, give it a shot, man. That's enough preamble. Shall we get started? Begin investigation. Prison yard.
Okay. All right.
Don't forget, you can examine stuff in the recreation just like in real life. You can also present evidence to try to clear up any inconsistencies you find.
Of course. Thank you for the reminder. Now, let's take a look at that well. All right, that well.
I will tell you, I like this music better than the music from the first game. So everything about game number 2 is better than game number 1. What's going on here?
We should examine this area carefully. It may just hold the clue we need.
So, all right. I mean,
look at this. The well was behind the stage, which means...
Not many people who could have thrown Knight's body down it during the show.
This is looking worse and worse for Mr. Saint. There's a sturdy-looking hemp rope lying on the ground.
Hemp, man? Just kidding.
Kind of reminds me of the ropes we used for playing tug of war in school.
The answer is no, Kay.
Oh, boy.
What? I didn't even say anything. Yet.
You know she's thinking about it.
I see it also has a metal stake attached to one end.
Hey, you don't suppose that's our murder weapon?
I don't think so. Just keep looking, man, because you may find something.
I'm just saying. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. It looks like something you used to put up a tent.
Yep.
But there was no tent, was there? In which case, what was it used for?
Maybe it was used as a piton. You know, like those things that you shoot up a mountain?
Yeah.
It's not,
I remember. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, all right. There's the weight here.
Check. It's a metal weight of some kind. It looks like it weighs... The projection makes it a little tricky to read. Do you remember how heavy it was, Kay?
Sure, it was 30 pounds.
Well,
logic time.
Well, I can see that. Anyway.
What does anyone need such a heavy weight for, anyway?
It doesn't seem related to the circus show, at any rate.
Yeah, I thought that was suspicious. Let's look at this.
What are a bunch of pulleys doing here?
Which, weren't they there the first time? Anyway.
They don't seem to be well pulleys for lifting buckets.
So what do you think all this stuff around the well was used for?
Pulleys, a rope, and a weight. What were they being used for? Weird.
We'll see.
I can't see any of the animals needing them for their part of the performance.
Indeed, nothing immediately strikes me as a likely purpose. We'll have to ask Miss Berry later.
Okay. Okay, so there's more. Anyway.
I don't believe there's any more to be found here. Now, go back a little bit. Oh, you want to see this? It looks like this was designed for raising and lowering a bucket. No sign of the bucket, though.
Okay, I like seeing the check mark, so anyway. Okay, so there's the stage. Let's just look around here. There's the stage, there's the basket of animals, there's the elephant, there's the metal pipes.
Apples? You know the basket of apples? They were supposed to be in there, but that's empty now.
Wait a second, apples? I don't remember seeing a basket of apples. The last time I saw this basket, it smelled of animals.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you thought I said apples?
No, I thought there were apples in there, but you said animals.
Nope. Anyway, let's look at it anyway.
A wicker basket, or rather a cart, given the wheels.
Hey, wouldn't it be fun to hop in and race it down a hill? Ooh, you know what else would be fun? Racing down the hill on office chairs.
Where did any of that come from?
Okay, so
the elephant.
Okay, well, anyway, let's look at the stage.
Yes, this is where the circus show stage stood.
Wow, say that 6 times fast.
Do you think people would be interested in a great thieving show?
I'm sure the police would be very eager to attend.
Okay, well, never mind then. Let's
Chairs. What are the chairs doing there? These chairs must have been for the audience.
Wow, I pity whoever had to put them all away.
Really? Why?
Ha! You've clearly never had to fold up a bunch of boring chairs before, huh?
Yeah, you ain't never been in the wrestling business, pal.
Not personally. I've told other people to do it, though.
Oh, I get it. He's a promoter. if there's anybody in the wrestling business that happens to be watching this, I totally say that in jest, and I don't mean to be offensive. And if I am, I apologize. Moving on.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. You gotta roll up your sleeves and help out once in a while.
Gah, I'll consider it. Now check out that elephant.
All right. What was the name of our trunk-happy friend again?
Isaiah the Asian Elephant.
Oh, there's a little bit of logic.
Star of the show alongside Regent, the Tiger, and Saint. Of course. How could I forget?
Not exactly inspired, though, is it? Was Miss Berry having an off day when she came up with it?
Oh my gosh, Mr. Edgeworth. Not in front of the poor elephant herself.
I suspect that's about all there is to find for now. Detective Gumshoe should be here soon, too. Okay, you can power down Mr. Thief now.
Sure thing. Prepare to return to normality.
I'm kind of glad that it didn't seem that long, but I don't...
Investigation complete!
Sorry, sir. I came as quick as I could.
There's Regina.
And there's Missile.
Ha! Speak of the devil.
Ah, Detective. That was indeed impressively quick.
I'm going to try something different with Regina, so give me a sec. You know me, sir. Never did like to keep you waiting.
Thanks for coming all this way too, Regina. No problem. This seemed way more fun than rehearsals, so I ditched them for the day.
It's very much appreciated. All right, Detective, let's get started with Missile.
Yes, sir. Hey, Missile, over here, boy. He's not moving. What's the matter? Come on, boy, come on. Uh-oh.
What's wrong with him?
Looks like he's scared of something, sir. Oh, the alligator. Alligator. Guess he's not a fan, sir.
Well, I doubt he'll be much of... Well, I'll doubt he'll be of much help to us like this.
Any other bright ideas, Milesarino?
Yes, actually. Miss Berry, would you mind lending us a hand?
I'd love to. Just tell me what you need. Do you want me to teach Allie some tricks?
I don't doubt she could do it, but... Nothing quite like that. I'd simply like an account of what the yard looked like during the show.
I like where this is going. You're thinking of using Little Thief again, am I right?
If you'd be so kind.
And I knew we weren't done with it.
Okay, I plugged in all the data. Firing up the simulation.
Oh, look at this.
Here you go. This is what the yard was like during the show.
The time in which the body was purported to have been thrown down the well.
Oh, wow. This is so amazing. It's like magic. No magic here, just sweet, sweet data. Which is why...
The area behind the stage is missing.
Oh, interesting.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Regina said she wasn't involved in getting a stage set up. So we don't have any data on what it was like back there.
No data, no simulation, huh? Brutal.
I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all because I let Simeon do everything by himself.
Oh, no. It's all my it's all my frilly associates' fault.
Objection, Fender.
Anyway, we got our first simulation now, but we still have the other data too. I can switch back whenever you want to I can switch back to whenever you want to see the recreation of them taking down the stage.
So we can examine the scene both during and after the show. And switch between the two at will.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. I can switch between recreations by using the triangle to talk with K. Now then, let's continue our investigation, shall we? Begin investigation! Prison, yard.
Oh, now Missle's sniffing around. I want to talk to the dog. It's as bad as it looks, Gur. It's as bad as it looks, sir. Poor little guy's scared out of his skin.
I hope to have him track that scent again, but that clearly isn't in the cards now.
Poor kid.
The chairs are lined up neatly for the show.
Poor puppy, I meant to say.
Yep. Though we know there were a few empty seats during the performance.
Right, 3 of them. So let me just check socials real quick. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Keep going.
Negatory, hot show.
Huh. Something about this space. The way the seats are arranged. Reminds me of a karaoke contest I entered as a kid.
Okay.
You entered a karaoke contest?
I sure did, and I came in second. Even in the depths of night, when no other bird dares to take flight. One alone soars to shine the light of righteousness on the world's blight.
Tell me you didn't actually sing that.
I sure did.
She did well to take second place, or perhaps stole is more apt. Or is it more that she failed to steal first place? I'm overthinking this. Certainly are, Mr. Edgeworth. And what's that stage about?
Hey, check it out. There is a
What
cart.
the heck? The basket was empty in the other recreation.
Oh yeah, but it was definitely empty in the photo I took too. Oops, Sorry, I made a mistake when I was filling you in earlier.
Oh?
That basket's for holding Isaiah's food, but on the morning of the show, all the apples that were in it had vanished. Poof! I totally forgot to mention it. Sorry.
Disappearing apples. I should make a note of this.
Food for Isaiah.
that was in the garden until the day before the show, but it was gone by the next morning.
So what the heck's going on here?
Now take a look at the stage. There's something on there.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's an elephant, a clown, and a tiger, so...
Simeon's on there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Simeon.
A story of forbidden love between a tiger and an elephant. Wish I could have seen it. Wish I could have seen Simeon up there on that stage, too. Oh, he was wonderful, the way he flew off that stage.
Oh, yes, that scene.
This victory is depicted in a very unique manner, whereby the villain is sent flying from the stage. Having been ejected from the stage in this manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance.
And you're saying the crime took place during that time? Roughly how long would you say Mr. Saint was off stage for, Miss Berry?
Let's see. I guess it was around 15 minutes.
Just as Judge Gavelle said.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm thinking about something.
Well,
think about the pulleys, the weight, and possibly the rope and the pick. Don't you think that maybe this trick was staged?
That's probably... Well, okay.
Let's
You know
prove
what?
that then.
Is that it? Yeah, that's definitely food for thought, because can an elephant really hit a human being that hard? I mean,
Probably not.
No. So that's okay. Anyway. Isn't it pretty hairy health and safety wise having an elephant fling a guy off the stage?
Not at all. Isaiah, not at all. Isaiah's very gentle.
I'm not sure it changes much if she flings him gently or roughly.
Too gentle, in fact. When we first rehearsed it, she barely nudged him. But by the end, he was flying off that stage. Not because of Isaiah, though. Simeon had figured out some kind of trick, apparently. Isn't that amazing?
A trick? Do you have any idea what kind of trick?
Oh, me? Oh, no, it was Simeon's big thing. I wouldn't know where to start.
Trick of some kind enabled Isaiah to send Saint flying. See what I'm getting at here?
Nope, I know exactly what I need to do next. Let's put the pieces together. So let's see, items around the well and Mr. Saint's big moment. Put them together, what do you got? Ding dong.
The trick Mr. Saint performed for his big scene, could it have something to do with all the items we found by the well?
Ooh.
Okay, I'd like to have another look at the equipment around the well from yesterday. Can you have Mr. Thief bring up the recreation from when they were tearing down the stage?
You got it.
All right, then. Taking another look at these items. Could they not have been used for this trick of Mr. Saint's?
Sounds plausible enough. Hey, maybe I could add it to the simulation.
Good idea. Please go and ask Mr. Saint for the details.
Roger that. I'll be right back.
God forbid something happens to her, but...
I'm back, and he told me exactly how he did it.
Excellent. Well, how does it work?
He said he used the pulley at the top of the well to suspend a heavy weight from a rope and lowered that down into the well. The other end of the rope went through 2 more pulleys and was tied around his body.
Oh, I see. So he used the downward pull of the weight to help him launch himself into the air.
Well, that's a 30-pound weight, though. I mean, Homeboy has got to weigh at least, what, 150? Anyway, let's keep going.
But how did he make sure the weight only dropped when he wanted it to?
He used a stake to stop it, that's how.
This Barry didn't seem to know anything about the trick or the contraption he built for it. In which case, I suppose it must have been Mr. Saint himself who pulled out the stake.
That's right. And to do that, he used a second length of rope. He tied it to the stake, and then, when he gave it a sharp tug,
the stake was released and the weight dropped down the well.
it's a great trick. I have to steal it. This one has to go in Great Thief's repertoire.
It may not be quite that easy. These kinds of circus tricks can require years of practice to master. Simply stealing the idea won't be enough.
All right, practice it is then.
Well, before you run away to do so, would you mind updating the simulation?
Oh, right. Then we can see how it all worked for ourselves. Okay, I'm switching back to the recreation of the performance.
Here we go.
And now, to add in the data. Little Thief should be able to reproduce the trick now.
Here it is. So this is how Mr. Saint performed his trick. Mr. Saint's trick data jotted down in my organizer, a contraption that used the well, a very heavy weight, 3 pulleys, and 2 lengths of rope to send Saint flying during the show.
Simeon's full of surprises, huh? I mean, dropping a weight down a well to help him fly off the stage like that? That's genius!
Hey, hang on a second.
Wait a minute.
There's something else that just came to mind. Now remember, Bronco Knight was struck on the top of the head. Remember?
Oh, so the weight hit him?
Yeah, you don't think the weight hit him, do you?
You know what? Maybe yes, maybe no. Who knows?
I'm just saying.
Gotta prove it, though.
Gotta prove it.
Indeed, but I imagine he would have needed quite a lot of weight. More than him at the very least. It would have taken some serious pull to lift him into the air like that.
Yeah,
Something heavier than Saint himself will be needed for the trick to work.
Yeah, because that weight's only 30 pounds, Jack.
Yeah, and probably a ton of practice.
So why don't we just take some more stuff? Let's see here. Not the Isaiah the elephant, but the disappearing apples?
And Isaiah the elephant, because I think Isaiah ate all the apples.
Let's try this one.
Aha! The apples in the basket were likely eaten by Isaiah.
Really? That's strange. I made sure to put the cart where her trunk couldn't reach them.
Are you sure about that?
You sure about that?
Oh, yes. It was still full of apples the night before the show.
Then we must consider the possibility that the cart was moved to somewhere within Isaiah's reach. A large basket full of apples couldn't have been moved by the wind, which likely means somebody moved it for a reason.
Oh, the basket was moved by someone the night before the show.
So before the show had even started, the cart had been moved and its apples eaten. Yes, that seems to be the most probable timeline. Let's update the recreation, Kay.
Will do. I'll add that into the simulation of the performance then. Updating based on what Regina told us now. There, all done.
Let's connect some more dots. I wonder if there's a way that we can put this together. Oh,
Aha!
Wait, doesn't this seem odd to you?
no?
You haven't noticed, Detective? There's something strange about the weight we found.
How heavy it is. Well, let me try. I'm gonna try. No, hold on. I'm gonna try how heavy it is because that's my first thing.
The one weight on its own wouldn't be heavy enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Insufficient weight.
A single 30-pound weight couldn't have lifted Mr. Saint off the ground.
Hey, that's what I was saying. Oh yeah.
In which case, could there perhaps be some weights missing?
Indeed. Sounds like a job for my 7 secret weapons, sir.
Should the need to use them arise, I suppose I should speak with them then.
Okay, well, we probably want to do either we want to do a metal detector for that or something, but we gotta get rid of that alligator first. Okay, let me see. That's done. Let's talk to Fender, see if he knows anything. A great thief's secret weapon. Color me intrigued, Mauserino. Not exactly by the book stuff, though, yeah? Using great thief doodads in an official investigation? Whoa! Not with the death stares, Chief. I'm cool, okay? I can keep a secret. Anything for the truth, am I right?
It's possible that vital evidence has already been destroyed. Without cage reproduction of the scene, we have no hope of finding it.
Hey, relax. Like I said, I'll just zip it and nod politely while you cats do your thing.
Thank you. That would be very helpful.
Okay, let me see. I guess we can see this.
It's the pen that held Azea, the Asian elephant. Now empty, as the lady herself is on stage.
I wonder how they got her in here in the first place.
What do you mean?
Well, the entrance to the yard is people side. And there's like a gazillion megawatts pumping through that fence. Kind of risky, no?
Not if one turned off the electricity.
And you know what? That could be a perfect opportunity to escape the prison. Especially if you had prior knowledge of it.
Yeah, but then all the prisoners would escape.
Through an entrance blocked by an elephant? I think not.
Yeah, but we have an escape tunnel, though.
This is a real puzzle, all right. I'll need to give it some more thought.
She seems to be enjoying the challenge. I'll leave her to it.
What's all this? What's that stuff? Oops.
Look at the entrance to the power room. See that? This door appears to be locked.
Want me to open it? Can't guarantee anything, but I'll certainly give it a try.
No. If we deem it necessary, we will simply ask for the key.
Spoil sport. That could have been my chance to shine.
You're free to shine somewhere else, but you'll not make an audience out of me. So I think we'll just have to stick with, speak with Gumshoe, see what he says, or...
Sure. Don't say a word, sir. I know just what you're looking for. It's written all over your face.
It is?
Missile may be temporarily out of action, but my fishing rod is good to go whenever you need it. Oh, and if you want to give the metal detector a shot, I have that too. Oh. One of Detective Gumshoe's 7 secret weapons. Why don't we put it in there?
I've never seen him so excited.
And mark my words, kids. We will be using that fishing rod at some point in this episode. You watch. We're gonna be fishing. We're gonna be fishing for gators.
I'll be sure to let you know if I need either of them, Detective.
All right. Well, let's take a look here. Let's put the dots together. Insufficient weight, metal detector.
Detective, I have need of one of your secret weapons.
Roger that.
The metal detector, if you would be so kind.
Ah, jeez. Never gonna get to use my fishing rod. Now, before we get started, let me run you through how the metal detector works, sir. It's simple enough. it uses this sound. And this gauge to tell you how close you are to something made of metal. Closer you get, the more strongly it'll react. When it starts going wild like this, just give me the order to examine the spot where I'm standing. Say, what do we got here? Oh, the fence. Well, anyway, that's how it all works. You tell me where you want me to look, sir, and I'll get right on it. Okay, hold on. So we know.
Don't touch the pond.
So we know that that's the fence. But check a look at it. Oh, sir, I'm picking up something over here. Let's take a little look-see. Huh? Found these little guys in the grass.
Yes, sir. They're the same as the weight we found by the well. They must be from Mr. Saint's trick. Did someone hide these here on purpose?
I count 4 altogether, sir. So what's 5 times 30? 150. So yep.
They would be more than heavy enough to send him flying.
Yeah, our boy here's got to weigh at most 120, soaking wet.
So somebody had several of the same weights as the one by the well. But why? And why over here?
They make great concrete shoes.
I see.
Although my question is, how deep is that pond? Yes, nice work, me. Uh-oh. Ah!
Alligator!
That thing nearly gave me a heart attack. Huh?
What's the matter, Detective?
It's the metal detector, sir. It's, reacting to the alligator.
What? How?
Wait a minute. You're sure it's just you're sure it's not responding to the weights we just found?
No, sir. I'm sure this is something different. And I'm sure it's coming from the alligator.
The alligator must have swallowed something.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gone.
What's she laughing for?
We scared that big snapper good.
Don't
count your chickens, lady.
Exactly.
I don't think that's it, Kay. Huh? Then what is it? Allie hasn't been herself lately. Allie hasn't been herself lately.
That's the name. Allie, the warden's favorite pet.
She wouldn't even look at the food warden Lagarde. She wouldn't even look at the food warden Lagarde brought her yesterday. She was acting as if, I don't know, as if maybe she'd eaten something that didn't agree with her.
Maybe the metal detector was responding to whatever she ate, sir.
Oh no! What if she ate one of the weights?
Try that again.
Oh no! What if she ate one of the weights?
I highly doubt that even an alligator could swallow a 30-pound lump of iron. So what did the metal detector actually pick up? Think about when Warren Lagarde had to feed Allie.
Well, I mean, she was probably just throwing fish in. But anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah.
But I told you we were going to use that fishing pole.
And why would someone hide those weights? Perhaps I missed something when I looked at the equipment by the well. Okay, could you recreate the scene again?
Coming right up.
And here it goes. All right, get to the well. Or I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. All right.
Let's see. It's.
This is where you deduce something. Hey,
So
wait a
okay.
minute.
So let me think. Okay, let me just deduce this.
Could this be related to the evidence somehow?
let's see.
Just take a wild guess.
I mean, obviously, the weight is related to the trick, absolutely. So let me see what other evidence there is. I mean, there's the bracelet, prison search. No, I'm gonna go with this.
Eureka! This piece of evidence reveals a contradiction in the scene of the crime.
Nope.
Gonna need some specifics here, Mr. Edgeworth.
Gotta say, I don't get it either, sir.
Well, if you look here.
Come on, sir, you gotta give us more than that.
Yes. This contraption. If I'm not imagining things, it's missing something.
Okay, so we're not.
The third pulley. It's missing a third pulley.
Uh-huh.
Could this be related to the evidence somehow?
So, okay, a contraption that used the well, a very heavy weight, 3 pulleys.
Eureka! No, not this one. Hold on, let me bring it up for you, okay?
Well, okay, but I know what you're going through then. So anyway, so yeah,
the
we're
contraption is. Look up there.
Oh,
Look up there.
I
That's probably
see.
where you're missing the pulley. Yeah, go up.
that's where we gotta go. Ah, god damn it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, of course it's missing something. Oh, wait. Hold on. So there's 2 of these. There's a third pulley here. Hang on. There's the second rope. Where's the second rope at?
All right, hold on. Let me see where it's. Oh, okay. Tie. Okay. Deduce the rope.
That's the next thing I was doing. And then what
That's
else?
what's missing. The third rope was missing on the contraption. So get the contraption.
Well, it is the contraption. So, okay. We were close.
Think about the 2 recreations. The one during the performance and the one we're looking at right now. There's a major difference between the 2. Namely, that one of the ropes is missing.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Saint's trick wouldn't work with only the items we see before us.
So what happened?
What happened indeed? Where did the missing rope go?
That's
Well, we
it
don't
right-
know yet.
I got an idea. The rope was discovered on top of Knight's body. You don't think that he was used, do you?
No, that
Anyway.
can't be right.
Anyway, let's keep going.
I think one of the pieces of evidence we've collected might tell us exactly that.
Really?
What shows us where the missing rope went?
Take that!
This rope was found beside Knight's body.
Wait, you mean...
Yes. It must have been the other rope used in Mr. Saint's trick.
So you're saying...
Yes, that this rope did indeed have a weight attached to it. But it wasn't any of the iron weights we found. Those were hidden in the bushes and replaced with something else.
Oh my God. Anyway,
What was it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, I'm dying here.
Think about what the rope we found in the workshop was related to. Do that, and you'll soon figure out the answer. The weight dropped down the well in place of the iron weights was the cage? It can only have been Knight's body that was dropped down the well.
What? Mr. Knight's body was the weight?
Yes, somebody first swapped out the weights used for Mr. Saint's trick. Then Mr. Saint used the contraption to make his exit from the stage. When he let the rope around his body loose, both the rope and Knight's body fell to the bottom of the well. That rope was never used to restrain Knight. It was used to suspend his body halfway down the well.
I figured something out. Ha ha ha.
From this, we can easily see why most of the weights were hidden.
So that no one would realize they've been replaced with a body.
Precisely. We can then further deduce that they were hidden by the killer.
Whoa there, gang. Wasn't poor old Bronco stabbed in the neck? Wouldn't there be blood everywhere, including down the well?
Oh, the killer thought of that, which is why they used this. What did the killer use to stop Knight's blood from going everywhere? The tarp.
Take that!
This tarp was found with the body. I think it's likely that Knight's corpse was wrapped in it.
Whoa, another piece of the puzzle falls into place. It's all coming together now. Love it.
But all we're doing is proving that the body did go down the well. Which means we're hoping to prove that Simeon was the killer.
No, not quite.
But what about what Judge Gavelle said yesterday?
But if Mr. Saint truly is the killer, why would he need to go to such lengths to commit his crime?
That's true.
Knight's body fell down the well when Mr. Saint used his contraption during the show. Therefore, it reveals nothing about where the real killer actually was or what they were doing at the time. It's only designed to throw suspicion onto those who were not at the show.
Yeah, I guess we did suspect Mr. Canis right away, huh?
That was the killer's goal, to make us think that the crime took place during the show. In other words, they used the well contraption to construct an alibi. Miss Berry, when exactly did Mr. Saint put his contraption together?
It would have been the day before the show. The night before, actually. Yes, we started getting ready for the show at around 9 p.m. And I think we finished at around midnight?
In which case, the killer must have switched the weights out for the body after that point.
Ooh, damn, that's nuts.
Mr. Saint's trick data updated to my organizer, used during the show to send Saint flying. The weights were replaced with the victim's body by someone.
Yeah, no kidding. Knight is considerably heavier than Simeon Saint, so obviously he would have been sent flying.
Did Canis know about this contraption? Even if he did, he wouldn't have been able to do much with it. And I highly doubt that he taught his dog to suspend bodies halfway down wells. Which means Canis isn't the killer. Oh boy.
All right, well, let's put some stuff together here. Body used, no, never mind. Now, can we find a way to use that fishing pole? Mr. Edgeworth, I think I've cracked the case, sir. What if the killer was an invisible man?
Go on.
Yeah, well, the weapon came out of nowhere, and nobody knows how the body was moved. None of that makes sense until you put an invisible man in the picture.
Detective, don't tell me you think invisible people really exist.
Who knows, sir, but it'd be fun to see one, though, huh?
What a winning idea. Perhaps we should make your assignment to Mr. Winter permanent from tomorrow.
You gotta be kidding me. That kid probably still believes in Santa Claus.
People in glass houses
Shouldn't throw stones.
Nice one.
Oh, God. All right, let's look at the pond.
This pond is home to Warren Lagarde's beloved alligator.
And look, those bones must be from her latest meal.
I somewhat doubt an alligator could pick a carcass clean like that.
You think? I got the feeling she was rather ladylike in her own way, actually.
If you say so.
Well, I do. I kind of have a sixth sense for these things.
An interesting talent, though not one I'm particularly envious of.
All right.
Now, what about the power room?
Okay,
What
let's
about
go.
the power room during teardown? See if that happens. This door appears to be locked.
Want me to open it? Can't guarantee anything, but I'll certainly give it a try.
No. If we deem it necessary, we will simply ask for the key.
Spoil sport, that could have been my chance to shine.
You're free to shine somewhere else, but you'll not make an audience out of me.
Apparently
Okay,
not.
so-
Okay, let me think about this. Let's
Talk to Regina. Yeah.
So do you come to visit the prison often, Regina? I sure do. I have so many little friends here. It's wonderful. And they're all such sweeties. The old faces and the new. I made a new friend only yesterday. Ellie is just the cutest.
Cute? That full-grown alligator looking in the depths of the pond?
Are you sure about that? Can't help worrying you could just walk up and then chop, you know? Oh, don't be silly. She'd never do anything like that. Especially since she's not doing great. I heard she hasn't been herself since yesterday. I'm so worried about her. You guys are worried too, right? Right? Yeah, totally. Super worried. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes. Super. Don't rope me into this.
Okay. All right. So the dog. Why don't I do this?
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Little Thief's features.
Sure.
Okay. What is it?
You remember how Little Thief works, right?
Yes. It creates a simulation I can interact with and investigate it like a real crime scene.
That's right. Just go around and poke at anything you find interesting. Oh, but don't forget that if the inputted data is wrong, then the recreation will be wrong too. If you see something weird, try presenting evidence to clear it up.
Right. Actually, I'm still not very familiar with the new feature you mentioned.
It's nothing complicated, but it lets you switch between different recreations. So the two we've got programmed in right now are... the scene as it was during the show 2 days ago, and when they were tearing down the stage yesterday.
I should remember to talk with Kay again if I need to switch recreations.
So let's switch.
All right, you want... Yeah.
All right, you want me to change recreation to performance 2 days ago? There you go. This is how things look during the show.
Okay, so let's look at this because there's something new now.
Mr. Saint used the well to construct a contraption that would send him flying from the stage. It made clever use of 2 ropes. 2 ropes. But in the teardown recreation, wasn't there only... I should try switching to the other simulation and double check.
Which we already did. What's this?
This tarp, it's just like the one we saw in the workshop.
This tarp, it's just like the one we saw in the workshop.
He beat you to it, kid.
Yes, but why is it here?
But why is it here? Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth? You've gone kind of blank.
And I intend to stay blank until you stop stealing my thoughts.
Okay.
It's one heavy weight. Kind of makes you think how much this must all be weighing on Simeon.
It does? I'm not sure I quite see it myself.
Oh, too bad we don't have the real thing here. Otherwise, I'd hang it around your neck like a big old albatross. Then we'll see how you like it.
You'd face some stiff resistance if you tried, I can promise you that. All right, hold on a minute.
Okay, let's look at this real quick.
A pulley and a rope. I suppose the two do tend to go together.
You sure do, like a great thief and her treasure. Can't have one without the other.
Sorry, but the proper pairing in this case is a great thief and a set of handcuffs.
All right. All right. So,
Let me at least go forward for a bit.
why is there Yeah, okay, then I don't think it's anywhere to be found here, but what else could possibly be missing? How do they keep missing? Oh, look at this.
Connect the dots here.
Okay.
This is the rope that was hanging down the well.
But there's no pinata at the end of it, and definitely no bucket.
Do try to be serious, Kay.
Oh, come on, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm just trying to lighten the mood. So cut it out with that stare of yours.
Actually, she may be onto something. You might want to consider what could have really been attached to the end of the rope.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
Mr. Knight's body, of course, but...
Yeah, we found
there's
that out
something-
already. Now, so
Well,
you
we gotta
said connect the
dots
dots.
again.
So let's see.
Body uses weight in the
weight.
basket of that.
Really?
You know, yeah, the basket was moved, remember?
Well, it's... Oh, shit. Okay. I didn't think those were related.
The basket was moved the night before the circus performance. And we've deduced that the weights were switched out for the body at around the same time.
Ah, so whoever moved the basket killed Mr. Knight and put him in the well.
Hard to chalk that up to coincidence, huh?
Then the next question we should be asking is, why was the cart moved? I think I can hazard a guess. The cart would have been blocking that door. Which can only mean...
That somebody needed to open it. Now, let's see what's... Oh, great. It's locked. Let me ask a guard for help. Hey, Mr. Guard!
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Yeah, yes, miss? What can I do for you?
That was fast. Guard, where is the key for this door?
Oh, the warden keeps hold of that. I'll go ask her for it.
One in the guard is the only one with a key?
Hey, package. You smell that?
I smell plot with a capital P-U.
Nice save, Athena.
Yeah, buddy. Meaning, if somebody did open the door, they would have had to get it from her somehow.
That's true. You know, we didn't consider that, but...
Thanks for the help.
Oh, look at all these breakers. They must control the electricity for the whole prison.
So we're thinking somebody got in here the night before the show, right? But why? What were they trying to do?
Well, I doubt they came here by mistake thinking it was a break room. They must have come to tamper with the switches.
Fingerprints.
Did they turn off the power to something?
Come to think of it, wasn't there something that lost power? The electric fence. What might have lost power had a breaker been flipped?
Well, the security gates. Think about that, huh?
Ah, yes.
So that's how... Yeah. How do you think you can get a weapon through?
Take that!
Oh, yes. If this had lost power, there would have been serious trouble.
And how would that work exactly?
Don't let your preconceptions hold you back, Kay. You need to think outside of the box. That's the key to coming up with ideas you'd have never imagined otherwise.
Nice try, Mr. Edgeworth, but this one's a little too far out of the box.
That wasn't the answer. Electrical devices connected to this board would lose power if their breaker was flipped. Wasn't one of our pieces of evidence affected in just such a way? Oh, the bracelets must have been.
No, it wasn't. It was the security cameras. Remember, there was a block, wasn't there?
Oh,
There was a 3-hour gap.
That's what happened. There was a 3-hour gap in the security camera footage.
Oh yeah, there was! So somebody flipped the breaker it was connected to?
It seems very likely.
Do you think it was the killer?
It's true that shutting off the cameras would have made things easier for them.
It would!
Which means the killer would have to be someone who had access to the breakers. And it seems only one person has the key. It couldn't be. Could it? Breaker's data jotted down on my organizer, located in the power room just off the prison yard. Were they tampered with the night before the body was found?
All right, little thief, your work here is done.
Whoop. Investigation complete. Refill.
It's stereo. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here
Yikes.
comes trouble. First on the scene, the early bird wins the worm.
Good morning, Mr. Winner.
What? What? You? How'd you get here before me?
Good morning, Mr. Edgeworth. I see you've made an early start.
Junior Trooper, you have taken the lead. Trust me on this.
And I see you've made a late one, Judge Gavelle.
This is not my only case. I'm a very busy woman. Not all of us enjoy the freedom of a prosecutor relieved of this only current responsibility. Oh, I do apologize. I meant, of course, an associate attorney.
Associate? More like asinine.
We'll see about that.
Eustace, let us begin the investigation of the yard.
Okay, I'll go get some officers to help.
Hold it!
Hold it. That won't be necessary.
Why not?
We've already finished investigating the yard and won quite the prize in the process.
One? But I'm supposed to be the winner.
Your Honor, I'd like to revisit your theory from yesterday in order to thoroughly disprove it.
I would caution you to choose your words carefully, Mr. Edgeworth. As I am sure you remember, your badge is in my hands.
How could I forget? You've told me several dozen times already. Perhaps you care to try a different threat.
Uh-oh. Careful what you wish for.
Because you just might get it.
Overruled. You have been warned repeatedly, yes, and each time my words seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Allow me to make this crystal clear. The committee cannot and will not tolerate insubordination.
Objection!
Objection! The fate of my badge and the whims of the committee are of no concern to me now. The only thing that concerns me is proving Simeon Saint's innocence.
Interesting, and spoken like a true defense attorney. In that case, I shall be equally uncompromising. In the name of the goddess of justice, I will strike down your case without mercy. And when I am done, your career as a prosecutor will be over as well. I hope you do not come to regret this.
Here we go. One epic battle. Judge Gavelle's theory.
My theory remains the same as when I related it to you yesterday. Mr. Carcerato did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel.
And she's right.
As such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show.
Again, she's right.
We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint.
Again, she's kind of right about that.
That's still your assertion, and can you prove it, of course?
Of course she can. Who do you think you're up against?
What Eustace means to say is that we received the final autopsy report just ahead of our arrival.
She really is a very busy woman. Busy looking after baby Winner.
Roasted.
The victim appears to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is as stated. It seems the wound is 4 inches deep.
Damn.
Oh, man. Autopsy report data updated in my organizer.
Estimated time of death. Glenn. Sorry.
Estimated time of death is between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. on the 27th. Instant death from a stab wound to the neck.
Simeon Saint was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. That was plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well.
Judge Gavelle hasn't investigated the yard yet, which means... I fear there may be something of a flaw with your theory, Your Honor.
You seem very confident of that. But do you have any evidence to prove it?
Yes, I think I just might. Okay, so where do you hit it?
Okay,
Judge
we are definitely going to have to use story mode here because she's right with everything. Well, actually, hang on. I got an idea. Keep going.
My theory remains the same as when I related it to you yesterday. Mr. Carcerato did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show.
Hold it!
Hold it. Could you talk us through your reasoning on that a little more?
The day before the performance, Mr. Knight borrowed the keys from Mr. Carcerato.
Or more specifically, the key to his cell.
Mr. Knight then used the key to leave his cell and enter Mr. Saint's cage. Mr. Saint took Mr. Knight to the yard in that cage, and that's where he killed him. The following day, Mr. Carcerato crawled his way through the tunnel, but there was nobody there yet. Wait a second! That doesn't add up! Mr. Carcerato smelled that sweet smell, so Mr. Knight must have been in a tunnel already! No, his body did not pass through the tunnel until sometime after Mr. Carcerato had crawled through it. Mr. Carcerato used the tunnel right around the time the show was starting. The body was discovered just after the performance ended.
From which you deduce that the body could only have been thrown down the well during the show.
Yes, and who the culprit must be. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint.
You know what? Hang on. I'm just going to go with story mode because I'm sure I'm missing something. I'm thinking it's either this statement that gets pressed or the last statement that gets pressed. Or are we going to present evidence? Oh, we are going to present evidence. Oh, the contraption. Okay.
Objection!
Because, again, she was right, sort of.
Sorry, Your Honor, but there's something else you're going to have to take into account. The well in the yard was rigged up to create a certain unique contraption.
A contraption? Go on.
You will recall that Mr. Saint was sent flying from the stage by the elephant.
I do, just before he was to be absent for some time.
He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope he tied around himself. Dropping the weighted end down the well allowed him to complete the trick.
Objection! Wait, wouldn't that send him flying as soon as he set foot on that stage?
Hold it! It's simple, really. He kept the weight from falling by using a stake to keep the rope in place. With a second rope, he was able to pull the stake free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We have found evidence to suggest that the original weight was replaced with Knight's body. This was done by the real killer in order to create an alibi. The estimated time of death tells us that the murder took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show.
Objection! You're saying Mr. Saint himself set this contraption up? You're saying Mr. Saint himself set this contraption up, right? Well then, who do you think is the number one most likely person to have used it to dispose of a body, huh? Even you must see how this looks.
Objection! If Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Judge Gavelle theorized, without these extra steps. Miss Berry,
Yes?
does anyone else know how Mr. Saint's trick works?
Well, let's see. We had to get the prison's approval on what we were going to perform, so I don't think Simeon's the only one who knows.
And there you have it.
Overruled. Interesting. You have certainly been diligent in your investigation. And yet, I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right?
Is what I am doing wrong? If so, who is it that deems it so?
How can you not grasp even that? How can you not see that you are doing wrong not see that you are doing wrong at this very moment?
Zion the Potato has entered the chat. The potato is late, but he potatoed anyway. Well,
Yep.
welcome. You're just in time for tea.
Yes, sir.
You are a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. This flies in the face of common sense. You are breaking every rule in the book.
I think only of what is right and just, and act as I see fit in each situation I am confronted with. Tea spill, 600-second timeout by stream elements. Reason, too many caps.
Oh,
600
what?
seconds. Wow, stream elements, really?
Yikes.
Too many caps. No, this can't be right.
Hold
Tea
on.
spill.
Sorry.
Nice music, by the way.
Just that.
Sorry, Zion, I got the bots working overtime. Just adjust that.
Yeah, so just, I guess it's saying too many caps, but I better turn that one off. Anyway.
This is the path I have chosen, and whether you can comprehend that choice is immaterial. But if you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all I can bring to bear.
Ooh.
Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well. If it is her will that we must fight, then I shall end this once and for all. Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth, for there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer.
All right, bring it on, bitch. Why Saint is the suspect?
If the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint, and thus he remains the only plausible suspect. Mr. Saint took a cage with him to Mr. Knight's cell. But why would he do that? Why take such an unwieldy object all the way to the holding cells? Yeah, it is pretty sus.
But we've all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do. It's entirely plausible that he took the cage with him out of absent-mindedness and nothing else.
It may be plausible, but it is no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape.
I need some real solid evidence if I'm going to get her to budge. All right, story mode time. Wei Saint is the suspect.
If the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint.
Not quite. How about this? Timestamp is off. Objection! Mr. Saint is far from the only one who had the opportunity.
Which opportunity are we talking about again?
We previously established that the time code in the security footage was off by 3 hours. And from this, we can deduce that there must have been a power outage lasting for that length of time.
Okay, anyway, and from this, we can deduce that there must have been a power outage lasting for any time.
During which anyone could have moved around the prison undetected.
Yep.
You can Chad swatch the caps, okay?
Do you mean to say that our killer intentionally created this 3-hour gap? That it was no simple camera malfunction? Is that even possible?
Oh, yes, it is, lady.
It was completely possible to create the 3-hour gap using this.
Take that!
Poof! Our investigation of the yard turned up something rather interesting. A panel of breakers, one which can be used to cut the power to the security cameras. We also learned that the door to the power room may have been open at around the time of the murder.
What?
Such a shame to see one so capable fall so short of the mark. Mr. Edgeworth knows what he's doing! Then how does he explain the lock on the power room door?
Oh, yeah. It was kind of locked up tight. And the warden's the only one with the key.
Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure. So I very much doubt that anyone could have gained access to the power room's key so easily.
Objection!
Objection! No, but one person could have.
I beg your pardon?
That person, the killer, had easy access to it, in fact.
That was great.
And what's more, their position here is such that nobody would dare question them.
Objection!
Objection! What? There's no one like that. The breaker to the electric fence is in there. They would be questioned in an instant.
There's only one person who meets these criteria. I can hardly believe it myself, but I have to follow where the logic leads. The person who had access to the power room key was Miss Fifi Lagarde.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on. You're going to jail.
Take that!
Take that! The real culprit is... Uh-oh. Oh. What was it? Warden Lagarde.
Oh, just look at you. Aren't you the cutest little poochie-woo?
He's not just a pretty face. The missile also has quite the nose for sweet things. It seems he's smelling something very sweet indeed, and it's coming from you.
Oh, darling, you're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume.
Then perhaps it is the sweet stench of death.
You're a regular poet, aren't you? I had no idea. But if I didn't know better, I'd almost think you were calling moi the killer.
That is precisely what I'm calling you.
Oh. What?
Warden Lagarde is the killer? Mr. Edgeworth, do you realize what you're saying? Oh, such a naughty boy. How could he suspect me? I'm the one in charge around here. It's like we're in a murder mystery, aren't we? And equally far-fetched. This is preposterous.
Hold it!
Hold it. Sadly, it is not, although I can hardly believe it myself. But this is where the evidence points, and we must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence proves that Warren Lagarde is the killer.
So, okay. Probably the apple cart or the map or
Take that!
Mr. Knight's body.
the sweet scent.
Your scent betrays you, Warden. And here is your accuser.
A police dog?
We had him track a sweet scent that was lingering around Knight's body back when it was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent, and it's coming from you.
Oh, darling, the process. Really, you are. Your evidence is a proof of suspicion. Do put him in his place.
It seems Judge Gavelle may have reached a similar conclusion to myself.
You believe this to be mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
Try that one more time.
You believe this to be no mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. After all, she had the key, and the scent found lingering on the body is hers as well. Were it just one or the other, we might be able to brush it off as coincidence. However...
Indeed. Then it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself.
We should, and when we have, this case will finally be at an end.
You are being simply awful. Stop looking at me like that. Me, the killer? How could I possibly do such a thing?
All right, time for a big battle. I didn't do it.
Verity told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in a cell, so by your logic, I would have had to have killed him there.
Except he didn't die in his cell.
That's right.
Okay, I'm back from timeout. Who do I have to burn this time? Well, first of all, me for turning on the bots. Sorry about that, buddy. But she's on screen right now. Get to roasting.
But then am I supposed to know about it? Especially as I never went into the prison. I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office right before the show began.
Yoink.
What the another one?
Too many symbols. Oh, boy.
What?
Okay, I'm awfully sorry about this.
I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began. Check if you like. You don't find a record anywhere of my having entered or left the prison proper. But the first idea was to help bring the series really discounts of cooked up with one time innocent.
My ass.
There's simply no way I could be the killer.
Give me a break. Missile doesn't lie. Don't make it hard on everyone and just come clean.
I'm afraid you are the one making things difficult. As I just said, I never went into the prison. If you think I'm lying, go ahead and check the records.
She clearly wants us to check those records, which means they won't help us. We'll just have to find another way of getting the truth out of her.
So the plan is to see right well. Stop being a big silly. You've been a boo-boo and you know that.
All right, time for rebuttal. I didn't do it. Story mode time.
That's told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in the cell, so by your logic, I would have had to have killed him there, but I'm supposed to know about this. Which is I never went to prison. Too busy with work, you see. I was cooked up in my office till right before the show began.
So that's a lie. Well, anyway.
Check if you like, you won't find a record of anywhere of my having until I left the prison proper.
Let's press her on
Hold
it.
it. Hold it. Top tier French accent. Praise evening, Gov.
Hey, evening. It's been a hot minute.
Sure, maybe you didn't go through the main entrance to the prison. But what if you took another route?
Oh, come now, sweetie. Surely you don't mean that awful filthy tunnels you discovered. Well, until yesterday, I had no idea it even existed.
No, you had another way in. I'm certain of it. A route that didn't require going through the main entrance or the tunnel. The route you took went through this location.
So it's either. I'm gonna say it's the yard.
Ah, the yard, yes.
Through the fence?
Warden, you took Knight from his cell and brought him to your office, which just happens to be connected to the yard. If you had a way through the fence, then you would have been able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel. The minute has indeed been toasty. Work sucks, so I'm starting my own business.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
Calling me intrigued.
A gold star for creativity, darling. And how would I have gotten through the fence,
You cut, the power was cut. How else would you have gotten there?
C'est une fence, touched with razor wire. With thousands of volts of electricity gone through it.
Yeah, how's she supposed to have gotten through that,
The fence's electricity supply can be cut off from the power room. And only you had the key, Warden. No one but you could have done it.
Overruled. Utterly ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden Lagarde was on the detention center side. How would she even have reached the power room? Exactement, Verity Gavelle. Fair clever puss. You've dug yourself a real hole now.
Well, the power room is on the prison side of the yard. All right, anyway, yeah.
If there is no record of Warden Lagarde having entered the prison proper, then the idea that she could have shut off the fence by using the breaker is out of the question.
But there must be some way she could have done it. It's going to be a travel advice and inspiration site for autistic people.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I dig that, Breeze. And Zion, I'm going to try to see if I can get you out of timeout. So hang in there. I'll try my best. Take a deep breath, big guy. Lose your cool, and you've lost everything.
It's just, she's so screwed. Yes, she is, Zion. But if I don't find a solution, she might still wriggle out of this.
Hey, I said take a deep breath, not freak out and completely lose your cool. There's nothing to be gained by banging your head against the same wall, yeah?
Von Karma, maybe? Remember that breakdown? No matter how you look at it, Warren Lagarde couldn't have done it alone.
Ding.
Mr. Edgeworth, if you cannot find...
Objection!
You aren't doing yourselves any favors by obstructing justice with your silence.
That was a reflexive objection. But now that I've yielded, if I don't come up with an answer, it's all over. I have one more thing to add, if you'll permit me.
Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side of the fence?
Yes, because it's not as impossible as it seems. What enabled her to shut off the breaker?
Either her position or the time of the murder. Well, an
I would say an
accomplice.
accomplice. She couldn't have done it alone. But what if she wasn't alone?
Whoa, now we're talking. Way to flex the old gray matter, kiddo.
I believe that Warren Lagarde had an accomplice.
Overruled. Enough. You disappoint me, Mr. Edgeworth.
What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth has said nothing wrong.
The inmates of this prison are all issued with security bracelets.
Hold on a second. I know who the accomplice is.
Get ready, folks.
The ones that raise the alarm if people go where they're not supposed to. Ah! I see that you have realized your error, and we are, of course, within the prison grounds, where not only are the bracelets worn, but even the guards surveil each other for signs of wrongdoing.
It's me! No, it's not you, Briz, but good choice. And despite all that, no one noticed Mr. Carcerato's escape?
The only ones who are free to roam are the animals. And they most certainly could not have operated the breaker.
No. So our accomplice must be human.
Overruled. Then who did it, given that it cannot have been a prisoner or a guard?
Objection! I wouldn't be so quick to rule out either, Your Honor. The fact is, there is one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted. And I have just the evidence to show who that free-roaming person was. Bracelets, maybe?
Da-da-da-da-da-da!
Take that!
Take that! I'm the accomplice. No, you're not, Briz.
This is one of the prisoner's bracelets?
Indeed. A broken bracelet belonging to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner.
What do you mean? And who is this prisoner?
Mr. Sawhead.
Gotcha, bitch.
Frank Sawt, Warden Lagarde's favorite inmate. It's strange, isn't it, Warden? That he was able to keep his broken bracelet hidden and wander freely around the prison all the while?
That is pretty funky, and I don't mean in a good way.
It couldn't be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, could it? Although, you are in the habit of giving such leeway to certain others, body tar mechanics, for example.
Overruled. Mr. Edgeworth, that is pure speculation.
Objection! In that case, why don't we ask Mr. Sawd himself? I'm confident he will confirm for us that he and Warren Lagarde were accomplices in this crime. If the two of them had worked together, a certain route into the prison becomes viable. The real route by which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Recall that there were two big obstacles in her path. First, the security camera outside Knight's cell. Second, the electrified fence in the yard. But she was able to remove both obstacles in one fell swoop by having Mr. Sawt shut off the corresponding breakers.
Uninstalled. All right, Miss Tribune Edgeworth, you've had your fun.
And? Do you still deny it, Warren Lagarde?
No, darling. You've got me. I admit that. Warden! Tell me this isn't true! Sorry, Verity, honey. I'm afraid it is. Frankie helped me do it.
No way!
You did it, Mr. Edgeworth! You got her!
Maybe not yet. Why is she so cool why is she so cool about admitting that? Huh? I mean, you don't just roll over and admit you committed murder, right?
No, not quite.
Nice shooting, cowboy. She won't be wriggling out of this now.
As Monsieur Edgeworth said, I had Frankie switch off the breaker. But we cannot, did we? No, we don't. No, we did not.
What?
Well, maybe he just had him turn off the breaker so we could get the elephant in, right?
Well, maybe.
Warden, explain yourself. Oh, Bertie dear, I thought your princess got there, so I'm not to hear my excuses now. She is all merciful. You have but to confess, and you shall be saved. Oh gosh, Très bien. I was being threatened. I had no choice but to do as he said. Who's he?
Who indeed?
Bloody Tom McCannis. That awful assassin.
Canis.
How long has it been since that awful man came here to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived. In the night we were alone, he said this to me.
You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution.
Who's else?
Yes, very loyal dogs. Dogs who will do anything I ask of them.
Bien sûr, he wasn't talking about real dogs. He was talking about these very human cronies. And then he said one last thing.
I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I would want to have to set my dogs on you, or your precious family.
Oh, shit.
Talk about a damn threat.
I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for.
Everything? Wait, is that how he became the fixer?
Oui, darling. I obeyed his every command and smuggled in for him all that he wanted. Eventually, I brought the dear sweet Frankie into a little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him too. So you were smuggling in contraband? How exactly? Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the girls. That allowed me to go from my office to the yard without being seen by the cameras. Then I simply tossed the packages down the well on the prison side and went back to the fence. Each one of them spritzed with a little of my perfume.
I knew there was perfume involved. So that's what the sweet smell was. I was right the first time.
Oui, it was a signal for Kansas' dog. When he picked up the scent, he would fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. We had to make sure Rocco wasn't in his zone at the time, of course.
Can't have been easy keeping him from finding out.
Oh, we were all very much creatures of habit here at the prison, darling. Everything runs to his schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there. And that adorable little baby's feces which frightened his out of Kansas dog. The poor thing. So there was no risk of fear raising the alarm either.
She has oversight over everything here at the prison, which made her the perfect mule. With her on his side, Canis couldn't fail.
Frankie would sneak out again early in the morning to switch the girls back on, and our work was done. Apart from fixing the time codes on the cameras, which I would do later when I got the chance. You have shared a great deal, Warden. The goddess of justice will surely take your honesty into account. I've been the most dreadful fool I know I have. I'm supposed to be the one in charge. Today at night murder was also one of our delivery days. So, Frankie, bless his heart, did his usual work with the breakers. But there was no packet for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go out into the yard.
So that's the secret behind the fixer system, and why she was...
The police have been trying to track down his accomplices for the longest time. Even I had to lend them a hand myself, you know. Heaven knows how many times I've followed this secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to me. But no matter what I say or how much evidence I present him with, he simply won't say a word.
That's why you were interrogating Mr. Canis over and over.
Exactement. I'm trying to track down those horrible hench people of his. I brought everything the police had on their heart and scoundrel. I watched every move, intercepted every letter he wrote.
His letters. Then I suppose she must know about his correspondence chess games, too.
Let's test her on that.
But no matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to who his handlings were. And then it feel like this. Oh, you just can't comprehend it. As you have just heard for yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The words of Warden Lagarde's confessions have cleansed her of all suspicion. Surely there is no need to hound her any longer.
Has she really been cleared of all suspicion, though? Or is there more about her to uncover?
There's definitely more.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this conversation isn't over yet. And I think the Goddess of Justice would agree.
So you mean to make her suffer even more than she already has?
Unfortunately, her suffering under Mr. Canis does nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of and even facilitated the so-called Fixer's delivery route. I believe she used that same route to move Mr. Knight's body.
And where is your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's in the fact that the sweet smell on Knight's body is the exact same scent Warren Lagarde uses to signal a delivery. What do you make of that?
That's because we've done it so many times, but now that the whole world probably smells of it. Some of it must have just rubbed off on his body. That does match the statement that Mr. Carcerato provided.
Smell. Yeah, always smelled kind of nice down there.
Nice.
Gee, I don't know. Smells sort of like dessert, I guess. Hold on a second. Dessert?
But she was talking about the cake, right?
Yeah, anyway.
His words would seem to suggest that the smell had permeated the well. You've been rendered speechless, I see. Then I hereby move to adjourn this session of the court. No! What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth?
What can I do? Is this as far as we go?
Finally! So we're actually done?
Yes, Eustace. It seems we are. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned.
Oh boy.
Hold it!
Who was that?
Come on, Judge G. Things were just getting good.
Fender!
Are you objecting to my adjourning this session?
No. Who would have shot at objection if I wanted to do that? You do you, G. Adjourn, don't adjourn, whatever floats your boat.
What are you doing, Mr. Fender?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's just all take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a square chocolatey goodness. Anyone?
Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court?
No, my bad. Just had a quick request to make is all. As Simeon Saint's lawyer, that is.
Ah, yes. I'd forgotten that you were his real attorney, Mr. Fender.
How could you? You're killing me here.
Can you blame us? You've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time.
Right you are, which is why I figured it's time for me to put in some work.
Work, you say? Somehow, I don't believe you've worked a day in your life.
Then let's say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. Mind if I question the witness?
Now? Amusing, but what is there left to ask?
I got a feeling in my funny bone that Fief's here has something more to tell us about the killer.
Do I?
Yes, indeed. See, as a major player on Team Simeon, I could spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, do you? So tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans. We're all ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, what's he doing?
Remember, she said, oh, he can't possibly be the... You gotta clear him of all this. Yeah. So she's saying he's innocent. So who did it, woman?
He's trying to coax Warren Lagarde into giving something away. Ask yourself, why would she go to all the trouble of sending Knight's body on such an odd journey? It's because she wanted to frame Mr. Canis.
She did? No way!
If he was convicted of committing murder here, that could have been grounds for a transfer to another prison. Most likely a more secure facility.
And where he'd be out of her hair forever, huh?
Precisely. She saw her opportunity and seized it.
No. So he can't not be the killer. That's not fair. I was all ready to prosecute him. I know, right? But maybe we should find out what she thinks first. Don't want to get the wrong guy, yeah?
Nice. Now Mr. Winter has to go along with it too. Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further? Yes, sir. How can I refuse this silver-tongued devil? It cares. You have such a way with words.
Hey, just doing my job, Thief.
Besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? I'm simply dying to tell all. Verity, darling, do say you let me. As you wish. Court is unadjourned.
Oh, for Pete's sake, how about court is still in session? That's the way to do it.
I can't believe you pulled that off, Mr. Fender.
Whew, me either.
Thank you for the timely intervention.
Hey, it's the least I could do. Kay's not wrong. I've been leaning on you hard. Besides, the defense never rests. Am I right? Simeon's dependent on us. Sadly, I think I just about exhausted my reserves of cool lawyer chat there. And we can't foul this up now. Which means you're up to bat, Miles McSmiles. Show him that never rest spirit.
I shall.
Fabulous, sir. Let's get started. Nous allons commencer.
My truth.
I really don't think anyone could have done it but that dreadful man Canis. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a dislike to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sort of details, it was him. He stabbed that poor man to death.
What? What did he use anyway?
Oh, brother, do I even want to know? Welcome back, Zion.
Yep. Just keep the caps and the symbol to a minimum, and you're good.
And then he had his dog dispose of the body. That simply has to be what happened. The victim, Monsieur Knight, oui? Attitude the most terrible disservice.
Yes, you killed him.
I suppose you could put it that way. If I wanted to sorry excuse for one time, this would never have happened. And that's why I had to clean up this terrible mess. Warden Lagarde, as ever, your honesty is truly to your credit.
I'm scared to say what I want to say about Lagarde because I'm being wary.
Again, just keep the quotes, just keep the caps and the characters to a limit. You should be good.
I am certain Mr. Knight is looking down and weeping tears of gratitude.
You've clearly never met Mr. Knight. All right, hit her with it. My truth, story mode time.
I really don't think anyone could have done it but that dreadful man, Canis. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a dislike to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sort of details in his him, he stabbed that poor man to death.
Hold it. What more can you tell us about those sordid details?
Yep, because the devil's in him, don't forget. Lagarde
Lagarde
is
is a living symbol of animal cruelty. Oh boy. Yeah, think of that. Think of how she got those furs.
Right.
That fur coat.
No, we all know Ricardo's wants to build it down. I don't think Grandpa's given much trouble. Especially as the victim was already injured. Isn't that, I think?
I mean, geez Louise, how much fur can you have?
Exactly.
Couldn't turn his head to the right for there. That's what it told me when they brought him in anyway.
They must make some sort of report for the warden when new prisoners are admitted.
She looks like the panda from Turning Red.
You seem keen for us to think you didn't know much about Knight.
That's because I did answer and the victim was to be a fun target to that monster, nothing more. I expect Janice used the chisels that were sitting in that chest set, don't you? All for crazy business. Just imagine, the man probably didn't even have time to cry out.
I see. Thank you for your thoughts. They were very helpful.
Time out. Let me just ask you something. Take a look at that. It does have traces of blood. It was hidden by Canis inside his dog's mouth and has a small bell. My question is, how deep does that chisel go? Because remember, he had a 4-inch wound in that neck. It was 4 inches deep. I don't think that thing's 4 inches, bro. Anyway.
Actually, I'd like to hear about them in a little more detail, if you don't mind.
Keeping up with Kung Fu Panda Kardashian looking behind. I love that shit.
Oh, Monsieur Edgeworth, you're making me blush. I could chat with you all day. Oh, don't look so nervous, darling. I'm only teasing. Of course, we can talk about this some more. I expect Kenneth used the chisels that were sitting in that chest set, don't you?
No, I don't know. We're going to present something, because there's a 4-inch wound, remember? In the testimony. But wait, it's nothing. Objection! Please shut up, Lagarde. If he can make you blush, I can make you bleed. Warren Lagarde, you strike me as being more careful than the image you project suggests.
Oh, Monsieur Edgeworth, s'il vous plaît, comme il fait, c'était pas du préfère.
However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realized in this instance.
Tu just another dumb little creature, don't be embarrassed. We're all family here.
No!
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, don't let her get inside your head.
You said earlier that you didn't know much about Knight. In which case, I find it rather strange that you know about the chisel.
Bien sûr, I do, darling. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in?
Objection! You're not talking your way out of this, Warden. That is entirely irrelevant, and you know it. Knight didn't bring the chess set into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight wouldn't have had it with him when he arrived.
Of course, Monsieur Saint came in.
Objection! You checked him? I find that hard to believe. Because if you did, that makes your story all the stranger.
Can I just look back on that? Hang on. Expect Canis to use a chisel that was hidden in that chest set. How does she even know about that? Because, yeah, I mean, stabbed that poor man to death. Okay, anyway.
If you found the chisel, why did you not confiscate it there and then? Judge Gavelle, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chest set?
I did not.
If no one leaked our findings, then how exactly did you learn about the chisel, warned Lagarde? Because it certainly couldn't have been when you checked Knight or Mr. Saint on their arrival.
Indeed. Such a thing would imply an international oversight if it had been found, yet let through.
Intentional, but let's just keep going.
Oh yeah, screw you, corner store Freddy Fazbear. Yeah. Precisely. So, warned Lagarde, and answer truthfully this time. Where and when did you learn about the chess set? If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit that you...
Oh, don't start! John in. There's no need to rub it in. You got me, all right? At Christian Knight, that was when I learned about the chess set. But silver play, you have to believe me. I did not kill him. One moment, Warden. This is a significant development. The court requests that you make a detailed statement on the record. Any objections, Mr. Edgeworth?
None, Your Honor.
Merci beaucoup. Merci, darlings. I'll clear up this awful misunderstanding, I promise. Very well. Go ahead, Moore on the guard, and please, tell the truth this time.
You know, I really don't think that Verity Gavelle is the heel we think she is. She truly is about justice. Well, let's find out.
Well, take that, Tattletale. Her lies are starting to wear thin. This is my chance to expose her. All right, here we go. Time for the final battle. My Truth Part 2.
I said a question Knight, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand? I make a point of talking to the really come out to our little home. And that was no different. We just had a little chat, you might call it.
Oh, hell no. Y'all just gonna let that lady, I think it's a lady, get away? No way, buddy. No way.
And after we talked, I had them taken back to his cell straight away.
The more she lies, the more thoroughly she seals her fate.
So, it was simply a conversation with a new detainee? That seems entirely above board. Exactly, Verity Gavelle. I knew you'd understand.
Objection! Well, I don't. What proof do you have to back up your statement?
I suppose we shall see, won't we? Mr. Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination.
All right, then. Time for cross-examination time.
I said a question there, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand. I make a point to talk to every newcomer to our little home. That was not different. We just had a little chance in my college, and after we talked, I had to take it back to his cell straight away.
Hold it. If he really had gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today.
Objection. Frick you, Furby. Objection sustained. If you really... Okay.
If he really had gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today.
I don't stop. You really think I'm here the poor man right there in my office, don't you? Before I put my notes in the pen, darling, I told you, I barely knew him. I'm no angel. I'm my good chances against Janice, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal.
She really does hate Cass. Warden Lagarde, I must insist that you append that statement to your testimony. Maybe that red lipstick is from the blood of your victim. Ooh, I don't know about that shit.
No angel. I had my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal.
Yes, he did. 3, 2, 1.
Objection! Judge Gavelle, I'd like you to take a look at this.
Notes about a game of chess. What is the significance of this, Mr. Edgeworth?
It was found in Knight's cell, which is exactly where you said you saw it too, Warren Lagarde. But you didn't just see this game in Knight's cell, did you? you've seen it in Mr. Canis' cell too.
Stop. What's your name?
Objection! Oh, come now. Don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chessboard in maximum security. I imagine you watch his every move like a hawk. Or rather, I imagine you feel that doing so is your only option. Look, there ain't nobody trying to hear that line shit.
If she wants to find out who his cronies are, right?
Personally interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. But as you said, Mr. Canis had threatened you. He put your precious home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were.
So what if I did it?
You also told us you read his letters, which means you must have known about one key fact. Oh, that's a bunch of boo-hawk. You knew he was playing correspondence chess. And then, who should appear but Knight, carrying with him a diagram of a very particular game. We ourselves used that diagram to infer a connection between the two men. And it seems you came to the same conclusion. But in your fear, you took your reasoning one step further. I feel like she's not really French. You surmised that Knight was Mr. Canis' henchman sent to kill you.
Which is the real reason she had that chat with the Bronxter. If his boss wouldn't crack, maybe he would.
And when you questioned Knight, you made another discovery. For there inside his chest set, you found a hidden chisel.
The murder weapon itself.
As far as you were concerned, that chisel meant one thing: Canis. Thus, you convinced yourself that Knight was working for Canis, and that is why you killed him. I see you have no more excuses. Judge Gavelle, your verdict, please. Fender better let Edgeworth cook, please, and send Warren Lefany to jail.
Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be little room for doubt. I hereby give my verdict. Bronco Knight was murdered by... Stop! In the name of the goddess of justice, who is it this time? Warden? It's a joke. It's all a big, stupid joke. You people just don't get it, do you?
I think we've proven that it's you who didn't understand things correctly.
Me? Super player talent. I understand it all perfectly well. Merci beaucoup.
Oh, she's that new crazy everyone is talking about these days. Oh, boy.
Yeah, buddy.
You don't understand that there is a clear contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth.
You're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this. Your Honor, the verdict.
Overruled. I am curious to hear what the warden has to say.
How is that fox moving? Who said it was a fox? Anyway.
They're probably foxes, too. What?
Your tall, Verity. I just have one last thing to say, that Monsieur Edgeworth can declare himself criminal.
You rang?
Does anybody remember a certain autopsy report?
Let's look at it again. Estimated time of death between 3 and 6 a.m. Instant death from a stab wound to the neck. So? All right, anyway. I'm gonna give her the chair if you don't shut up. You may not have to wait long, Zion.
Of course. We received the finalized version only this morning. That's right. And I was listening to what you told us about it, Verity, even if nobody else was.
Yay!
You said the wound was 4 inches deep.
And there you have it. We haven't found the murder weapon yet.
4 inches.
Wait!
Tell me this, Monsieur Edgeworth. How does a tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound?
Yay, Von to the Furby. No!
Forgive me, oh goddess. I came perilously close to making a terrible mistake. It looks like Yossi is the one that doesn't hold water, Edgeworth. What now, What do we do?
It'll be fine. Mr. Edgeworth always comes through. Right, sir? You can push it deeper in 4 inches, idiot. I wouldn't admit that freely, Zion. Just saying. Unless you did it in a block of cheese or something. Looks to me like the Milesatron's out of commission. You're an attorney too, aren't you? Why don't you do something? Turn things on their head with a desperate bluff. Blurt out the first mind-blowing thing that comes to you. Look, detective, I'm as much of a man of action as the next guy. Without evidence, we're up a creek without a paddle here. This might be the end of the road.
We can't give up now. We have to do something.
Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. There is a piece of evidence we haven't gathered yet.
I'm certain that Warren Lagarde is the killer. It's the only explanation that fits the facts of the case. But if the chisel wasn't the murder weapon, what other bladed weapon is there here in this facility?
It seems we still do not have all the answers, nor the evidence to provide those answers. Alas, we must wait until the trial to see this matter resolved, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Objection! Ah, come on, G. You're just giving the killer a chance to destroy the evidence.
Overruled. Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Fender?
I tried it on comments 1 and 2.
Message too long.
It's obvious.
Ooh.
It's obviously possible to put it 4 inches. Just shove the full thing and handle it, and then count the inches. Oh boy. Okay.
Well, sorry about that. I don't know what the character limit is, but let's go. Nope. Not me. Nuh-uh. I tried, Miles. Any bright ideas?
What is the real murder weapon, since it's clearly not the chisel? Could it be a knife or something? Confound it! This question throws everything we've deduced out the window!
Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth. Allow me to remind you that claims not supported by sufficient evidence are subject to the harshest penalties.
It's hopeless. I can't think of anything. I need more time. Loath as I am to admit it,
Hold it.
Hold it! You can't give up now! Remember what Mr. Fender said! Simeon's counting on us! Without us, he's... Remember how upset he was? He was devastated! Nobody's in more pain than him over Mr. Knight's death. There's no way he did it. But if we can't save him, who will? And what's more, he believes in us. He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news. And I, for one, won't walk away until we have some.
Okay.
Gee, Miles, your little buddy there's quite the motivational speaker. And she's right, too. When you find yourself on the ropes, think of your client. Picture them pleading with you to help him. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end? Think of your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things looked, he'd always find a way to turn it around to save his client. And you're just like him, right? If there's any way to force a turnabout here, you're the one who'll find it. Simeon's counting on you.
Judge Gavelle.
You seem to have recovered your composure, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you mean to attempt a defense, I would advise you to consider the ramifications. You have repeatedly proposed misguided theories and have made numerous false accusations. If you do so again, I will have no choice but to judge you unfit to serve as a prosecutor and relieve you of your badge for good.
She's right. I have put forward a number of theories that proved to be flawed in one way or another. Have I made some sort of fundamental oversight? Wait, she said my theories were misguided.
Nothing to say? Then the court will tolerate no more of your time wasting. I hereby...
Sir!
Mr. Edgeworth! Give my verdict.
That's it! I've been thinking about it the wrong way all this time! My theories weren't misguided. I was being misled!
Objection!
The defendant...
Objection! I think it's a little soon for that, Your Honor.
C'est vous passe de talent, vous ne secrez pas, Mr. Edgeworth, you may proceed. Quoi?
I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sighting of his dog, Helmet, the fact that he wasn't at the show. These and other factors made Mr. Canis the obvious suspect at first.
Overruled. This again, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem almost proud of your blunder.
Hold it!
Hold it! But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Canis? What if it was all carefully arranged? And what if the same was true of the chisel, our purported murder weapon? Knight had been stabbed multiple times in the same place with a bladed instrument. What if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Oh, just to leave traces of blood on it for us to find. That was how the killer misled us into thinking the chisel is the murder weapon. But why mislead us in this way? Why indeed? Why make us think the chisel is the murder weapon rather than whatever was really used?
In order to get Canis transferred.
Warren, you took advantage of what the chisel seemed to suggest.
Suggested? What are you talking about, darling?
Hold it!
Hold it. Mr. Winner, if I were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think?
Huh? That Mr. Canis is the killer?
And there you have it. That was the trap the warden set for us.
Oh, Mr. Canis has a bunch of chisels, so she wanted us to think it was one of his, right?
Indeed, that was her plan right from the start. To frame Bodied Harma Canis.
Your reasoning would appear to be sound. Warden Lagarde certainly seems to harbor a deep and abiding hatred for Mr. Canis. However, I think you know what I'm going to say next. That alone is not sufficient proof that Warden Lagarde is the killer.
I knew that wouldn't be enough. There's only one thing that will prove it. The real murder weapon that we now know must exist.
If you cannot prove your theory, then this conversation ends here.
Objection!
Objection! If we could just find the real murder weapon.
Objection!
Objection! How many times we have to go over this? We searched the prison from top to bottom.
Eustace is quite correct. No other possible murder weapon has been found, so I'm afraid you're at a bit of an impasse.
Objection!
Objection! I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor, because it's still here inside this prison. This would have made sure of that.
The security gate.
I'm glad you at least remember what it is. And do you remember what it does?
Of course I do. I'm not an idiot. The security gate detects metal, which means you can't bring anything metal into the prison or take it out. Oh.
Precisely. If there is another murder weapon, it cannot have been taken off the premises.
But nor can it have been brought into the prison in the first place. And so we find ourselves right back where we began.
Judge Gavelle?
What am I trying to tell you, What I am trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth, is that if you wish me to believe that there is another murder weapon here in the prison, you will also have to explain to me how it got here.
Remember? Feed the dog. Feed Allie. All right. We know that the chisel was smuggled into the prison inside a pocket chess set. But our contention is that the chisel is not the real murder weapon. So if the weapon came from outside the facility, then there must have been a way to bring it in.
Yes, the question of the hour is this. Can you show me this alternate route?
How did the weapon Warren Lagarde used get into the prison?
That's a good question.
You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation. Is that correct?
Well, at least I did. Everything related to Gunners is with me now. Heaven knows how many times I've felt how the secretive counselor into my affairs to talk to me.
Of course, that's how. The fact that this is here with us shows how a bladed object could have been brought into the facility as well.
Let's see. It's probably the bell.
Take that!
A bell, yes. Allow me to remind you of our conversation with Mr. Canis yesterday. Yes, it was but one of my bells. One of only two in existence.
Just two?
Two, and only two. One for my knife, and one for my beloved helmet. Exquisitely crafted, utterly unique. My ears are my guide, after all. And I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me. So you see, there is a way for objects to be brought into the prison unscrutinized. As part of the evidence Warren Lagarde borrowed from the police.
What?
Mr. Canis's knife was part of the evidence in the case against him, and that evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it.
The bell that was attached to the chisel!
Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to the chisel.
But that can't be right! The chisel only had Mr. Knight's fingerprints on it!
Easy enough to explain if the killer wore gloves. She made it look as if the chisel was the murder weapon and then attached the bell to it. In so doing, she made sure that all the evidence pointed to Mr. Canis, and who had access to the evidence from which the bell was taken. Why, only the person to whom it had been entrusted.
Who was it, sir? Who's been messing with the evidence?
I believe that would be you. Isn't that correct, Warden Lagarde? And it's not. The bell's not exactly like, you know. Anybody could have set that up.
Objection!
Objection! Unluckily for you, that isn't quite true. These particular bells are unique because there are only two of them in existence. By acting that bell to the chisel, you as good as declared yourself the killer.
And it's not. This is what you don't have any clues in that for even yet to begin with.
Hold it!
Hold it. I don't. Not yet, anyway. Mr. Winter, I'd like you to order another search of the prison right away.
Huh? But if you do find something, that's gonna make things awkward for me.
This isn't about what's convenient for you. We have to find the truth. You're a prosecutor, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but, you know.
This worthless excuse for a prosecutor. If I had investigative authority, I wouldn't be sitting on it.
Anyhow, it's not my decision to make. The warden would have to authorize it.
You know full well that she will do no such thing. You have the power to insist on a search. Use it!
Sorry, darling, but not without that evidence. The goddess of justice cannot bestow her blessings on those who lack the proof to support their claims. Our work here is done. The rest of this matter will have to be settled in the courtroom.
No! If we give Lagarde the opportunity, she'll destroy whatever evidence is left. I have to object. I have to stop them. But what do I say? I don't have anything concrete to offer. What am I thinking? I'm never this reckless. No! I can't back down now. I've got to put everything on the line. I'm not a prosecutor right now. I'm an associate attorney with a client to defend. Only I can save Mr. Saint, and that means... Even if my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, it's still worth a shot. It's now or never. Should I object?
Object, always.
I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels. Phoenix, right? Mm-hmm. Regardless, I cannot walk away.
Objection!
Objection! Wait, Your Honor!
This had better be good, Mr. Edgeworth.
I've got it.
Got what exactly?
The real murder weapon, of course. I know where Mr. Canis's knife is.
Do you really, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. Not at all.
If I did not know better, I would say that you were bluffing.
Ha! You wound me, Your Honor. I don't know the meaning of the word. God, this is terrible for my heart.
There's no way you could... It's not here, I tell you! Well, would you be so kind as to enlighten us? Where is the real murder weapon?
Think, Miles, think. Somewhere not even the police would search. A blind spot in this zoo. A hiding place that the warden could be absolutely sure of. A hiding place. No! If you insist. Come on, Helmet. Open up. Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But the more I think about it, how many foolproof ways to evade detection could there be?
Mr. Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting?
There's a faintest possibility I'm right, but if I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything. Your Honor, this is where the real murder weapon is hidden.
All
Corner of the
together.
yard,
Right
All
there,
together,
babe.
buddy. 3, 2, 1.
Take that.
Here? In the yard?
Indeed.
I don't believe I understand. Would you care to explain a little more?
Where exactly is the real murder weapon hidden? Turn to the left, inside the cage, right there. Because Detective Gumshoe detected it, right?
Yep.
Of course. That's what it must have been.
Huh?
What's the matter, Detective?
It's the metal detector, sir. It's reacting to the alligator.
What? How?
The metal detector was reacting to something inside her after all. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you of this piece of evidence.
The chisel?
Didn't we just figure out that isn't the murder weapon?
You might recall that Mr. Canis hid this chisel in his dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way? That's right. The murder weapon is hidden inside the alligator in that pond over there.
What?
No way!
We detected the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation. Judge Gavelle, we need to know what's inside that alligator.
Understood. Then we will need to summon a veterinarian. I'm sure I could get the little sweetie to open up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try.
Please, by all means. I think we've got a conclusion here. Warden Lagarde, the real murder weapon is about to be revealed. Why not do the right thing and confess? She's gonna lose it, folks.
I have nothing to confess.
As you wish. Then you can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed.
Sir, we got it.
That has to be it.
It's over, Fifi Lagarde. The real murder weapon was bodied Harma Canis's knife, making you the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight.
I'm not the criminal here. This is all Kenneth is doing. I did the right thing. Knight was expressed. He was Kenneth's lapdog. Curse a despicable man, Kenneth. Why did he have to come and clear my perfect into the home? We could have been happy forever if it wasn't for him. He ruined my paradise on earth. He ruined everything. Curse him. Curse that pitiless butcher. That awful devil sticker man. Curse him.
No.
Oh. Fifi Lagarde, you're under arrest.
So why was she hiding a prisoner's uniform underneath her coat?
March 29th, 12:34 p.m., detention center, corridor.
Prosecutor Thwinner, sir. The test results have just come back.
Winner? I guess we've all been under a lot of stress.
Traces of Bronco Knight's blood were found on Mr. Canis's knife. It's just like you said, sir. Congratulations on a stunning victory. Thank you, officer. Excellent work. You can continue complimenting me if you like. Yes, sir. Thwinner wins again. I think I'm welling up a little.
With rage?
What an idiot.
Excellent work, Eustace. Just a few loose ends to tie up, and we're done.
Huh? What are you talking about? I just solved the case, didn't I?
We have yet to confirm whether or not Knight really was working for Mr. Canis. It will be vital to know if Warden Lagarde was simply jumping to conclusions on that front.
Yeah, in that case, that means she gets a less severe penalty. Huh? Huh?
There's Clueless, and then there's you.
Well, I guess we better get back to our investigation. All right, officer, you're with me. You're about to see the winner win a whole lot more. Prepare to witness first-rate investigative talent in action. Yes, sir. I'm right with you, sir. Can't wait to watch you at work. It's winning time! He's running off.
Sorry, guys. I had to do it.
Don't apologize. It was perfect.
I expect this case will cause quite a stir. The attempted murder of a president is news enough, and now his would-be assassin has been murdered.
But Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place.
The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edgeworth.
Now that's sus as hell.
In the eyes of both society and the law. How can you even say that? You do not have to believe me. However, as a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world he operates in.
Being a prosecutor is about more than proving people guilty. That's what I believe.
We are all free to believe as we choose, but the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals. If you refuse to accept this, then you must prepare to suffer the consequences.
What does that even mean? Wait, you're not gonna take his...
Shh. I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edgeworth.
I like that music, by the way. Judge Gavelle is right. There must be only one set of laws for everyone. But if following the law means sacrificing the truth, can I really do that in good conscience?
Hey!
Simeon, you're out!
Hi, Regina.
Is everything alright? They did let you out, right?
Yeah, but I'm so confused about what's going on. Some guy just came and said I was free to go, and that I have Mr. Edgeworth to thank.
You sure do. Mr. Edgeworth found out who the real killer is.
Wow, really? You did that for me, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh no, no. Stop staring at me like that. I'm innocent, I swear. Don't pull the rug out from under me now.
Stop it, silly. It's true. He saved you. So say thanks already.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you.
And a great big Regina Berry thank you from me, too.
Mr. Saint talking directly to me? Small victories, I suppose. Can I just ask one question, Mr. Attorney? Sure. I'm not actually an attorney, though. I thought Bronco was my friend. No, my best friend. I trusted him. But now...
But now?
What?
Huh? Well, it's just... I never knew. I never would have believed that he could hate somebody enough to want to kill them. If he kept something like that from me, then he never really trusted me, did he?
That's not true, Simeon. Of course he trusted you.
No, he didn't. If he just told me, I could have stopped him. I could have told him that hate never helps, that he had to let go of all that stuff. Mr. Saint, I think you're forgetting something. I should show him the thing that proves Knight trusted him. The chess set.
Take that!
It's the chess set I brought for him. Knight had hidden a chisel inside. I imagine he meant to use it to escape. What? You mean he was using me? No. No. He believed in you. He knew he could count on you to bring it, and that you would never be so untrusting as to look inside. I imagine that by not telling you, he was hoping he could keep you from getting caught up in his mess. Oh. But Bronco, why didn't you tell me?
At least you understand now, right, Simeon? I'm sure he does. He may not know, he may not show it, but Simeon's no dummy. A good night's sleep and he'll be completely over this whole thing by tomorrow.
That's not as complimentary as you think it is. I'll try. I have to. For Bronco. I have to show him I can become the best animal trainer out there. That's the spirit. Uh-huh.
What the heck is going on here?
Oh, I almost forgot. We're, doing a new show soon. I'd love it if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth.
There he is.
Maximilian Galactica, baby. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one.
That's right. The Very Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun. Sounds great, doesn't it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, we have to go.
Well, I'll think about it.
All right, Simeon, we've got some training to do. I think it's time you and Regent got acquainted.
What? Regent the tiger? No way! I can't! No!
No, you'll be fine, silly. You'll never meet a nicer kitty cat.
I can't! Please, Regina, anything but that! Please!
Another satisfied customer. Well, that was really something, Smiles. Talk about pulling it out of the bag.
I couldn't have done it without you, Fender. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. Besides, I have you to thank for even being able to investigate the case in the first place.
Stop it. Pat me on the back any harder and you're gonna make me blush. Topple over.
I suppose it would be asking too much for you to take this seriously.
Seriously? Miles, my friend, I'm always serious. Anyway, how does it feel to save an innocent client? That's what it means to be an attorney, after all.
To be an attorney?
Gotta say, I had a blast. Reminded me of the good old days. Like Gregory was standing right there beside me. It's been like a zillion years since I felt this warm and fuzzy on the job.
That's good? Bittersweet? I'm not sure.
Say, Miles, you ever thought about going into the defense game full time?
Excuse me?
You know, pick up where Gregory left off. Get out there and actually help people. Hey, pal, don't get any big ideas. No, Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides. Why not? Coming over to the light side's all the rage. Everybody's doing it these days.
Come on, Mr. Fender. You know it's not about that.
Chill, team, chill. Don't get it twisted. I was just asking a perfectly innocent question.
No, you weren't.
The heck you were. Looks like you got a mean defense team there yourself, Miles.
Fender, I am a prosecutor.
Yep, and I'm an attorney. You could be one too. I'm serious. Well, I've said my piece. You change your mind, you know who to call. I'll be waiting. Hasta la vista.
I like that music too.
I dig it.
Follow in my father's footsteps. Could I really do such a thing? I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad. I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad. An attorney, like my father. Me? Ah, he actually remembers when he was a kid. Oh, that's the end of that case.
The end. Wow. Of course we're going to save our progress. All right, so there we go. So there's your preview for next week. Turnabout Legacy.
And I hear that it is the best game. I hear that it is the best case in this game.
Wow.
So, not to mention this part of the series. So, strap in, folks. And I got a hint for you. Get your tears ready.
Yeah, get your Kleenexes ready. It's going to be a tearjerker. And we may just dip into what led to DL6.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. So stay tuned for that one.
We may even look into Gregory Edgeworth's perspective. You never know.
Well, I mean, that's what it says, right? So, well, how are you going to find out about that? Tune in next week. Until then, I'm the Cannonball Alex Steele.
I am the Package Andrew Steele.
We are the Steel Twins, and we are for real. Top guys out. Ciao.
Adios, muchacho.